The matter of Cox versus Fife. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Cox, you and the defendant were in a dating relationship. Did you also live together for a period of time?
No.
According to your complaint, you made a loan to him sometime in the year 2000?
Yes.
And in addition to that, you say that after you weren't together anymore, you received a cable bill for movies.
I received the cable bill in December when we were still dating.
But he never lived with you?
No.
All right, and the cable bill you attribute to him?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me when this loan was.
The loan was November 21st.
2000?
2000.
Tell me the circumstances of the loan.
I had just received a settlement from my divorce. Todd knew I had a lot of money in my checking account. He asked me for a loan to pay off some of his debts, and he promised to pay me in February when he got his taxes back.
So you took the money out. Do you have any proof that you took the money out and gave it to him?
I have a check.
Can I see it, please? Well, this is a check made out to cash.
Right, and his name is in the memo. And also on my check register, it's got loan for Todd. And you can tell it was all written at the same time in the same ink.
Okay. Now tell me about this November 21st check, sir.
It's not mine. She didn't make a loan to me.
Well, let me ask you, if she gave you any money?
No. I have my own money.
She did not?
No, ma'am.
Why do you think she would say she did?
She's very vindictive and money hungry, but I believe she's got 2 other cases pending right now, suing her attorney for a divorce. She didn't get the money that she thought she was going to get. I believe she's also suing her dentist. And I told her I was going to end up taking her to court. She beat me to the punch.
Take her to court for your counterclaim?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to get to that. Ms. Cox, a couple of questions I have. February came about, 2001, and he did not return the money to you. Is that right?
Correct.
Did you have discussions with him about it?
I had several telephone conversations with him, asking him when he was going to pay my money. I actually have a tape with him that he left on my recorder.
That says what?
That says he will get me my money as soon as he can, that he has a problem right now. And as soon as it gets straightened out...
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
Saved message from...
This is Todd. Thursday. Somebody made some stuff you said last week.
I can't hear that. Can I have it close?
It's very guttural.
I understand that. Bert, can you put this on? You know how bad I am with buttons.
Everything I've said to you, every emotion I ever told you, how I felt, it was true. And it bothered me that you said what you said. Anyway, I'm working on trying to get your money to you as soon as possible. I wish I could get to you right now, but I know that's a problem. I know you need it. I'd give it to you if I had it. I don't know. I guess that's about all I wanted to say. Today's the 22nd. Liz's anniversary. 5 years. I'll tell you that I get something settled. I straightened out. It's just money. Talk to you later. Bye.
What money are you talking about, sir?
$160 child support money that she gave me, that I owed her. She had paid a child support payment for me when we would drop my daughter off.
Why would you need to take money from her for your child support payment if you just told me that you had money?
I didn't have my checkbook with me. We had dropped her off. We were in her car. My book was in my car, and I was going to pay her later, and she said, no, she'd just go ahead and write a check. And she did so. And I admitted to that, and I still haven't got her the money.
Then you would have the check for that. Is that right?
Correct.
Do you have a check for $160?
No.
Why would you make such a big deal about $160, sir? I mean, when you talked about owing her the money on the tape,
Right.
You said, I would give it to you right now if I had it, but I don't have it. You just told me that you just didn't have your checkbook in the car, and she had her checkbook, so that's why she wrote it. So I would assume from that you had plenty of money to pay your child support. The problem was you didn't have a check to pay it. And here you're leaving her a message on the machine that says, I would give you the money, but I don't have it. Explain that to me.
I owed her the money. I didn't have the extra money to give her at the moment.
Well, but you just told me a moment ago, sir, that you had the money. It's just that you didn't have a checkbook.
I didn't have the cash. We split up. We were not getting along, and I didn't have the money at the time to give her.
Right. Okay. You want to proceed with these cable bill that you have?
I also have 3 bills from the cable company for adult videos that were ordered when I was not around, when I was working.
You mean he stayed at your apartment when you weren't working?
He had a key to my apartment because he house sat for me on a couple occasions because I had 2 dogs. So apparently these were watched while I was at work. We have Lewd Conduct, Volume 3,
You don't have-
7:30
I
a.m.
don't need the titles.
Okay. They're
Okay.
4 in one day, back to back.
She was with me.
I don't know about the cable bill. Forget about the cable bill, madam. You give somebody the keys to your apartment, they watch the cable. I wasn't there. I don't know whether you watched them with them, whether you didn't watch them with them. You're not talking about a
Well, I have my
substantial
cable
amount
bills
of
for a
money.
whole year of what my cable's bill before he came into the picture.
Should have watched them more carefully. You're not talking about a substantial amount of money. And
She was
certainly not
watching
talking
with
about
me.
$2,500. All right, Mr. Fife, you want to tell me, please, what you think she owes you and for what?
$1,199.96.
Tell me what it was for.
I was moving. I switched bank accounts. She wanted to open a joint account, so she went and opened it without my knowledge. I finally went ahead and signed on it. I was getting my checks cashed by a buddy of mine. I gave them to her to put in after she opened that account, and she never put it in. We split up, and I just washed it.
When did you give her that money?
That was right around Christmas, actually.
You have any proof of that, sir?
No, I don't.
Did he ever give you money to put into the bank for him?
In October and November, he gave me workman comp's checks. He did not have a checking account because his credit is bad. He could not open a checking account. He would give me a check to deposit in my account.
Let me see.
I would write cash and give him cash
I didn't find the
while he
bank.
was standing right there in October and November. That is why the account was open. I told him, here's an account for you to work out of. I never wrote or deposited any money in that account. That was his account only.
She had an ATM card.
I did not. Todd, I did not.
Okay. I see the primary on the account.
I don't know
she
why
wanted-
she's
she-
a primary
was-
on the account, so all I'm asking you
I'm
is...
on the primary account because he didn't have an address.
Just a second. All
I
I'm
didn't have an
asking you,
address. I lived-
Mr. Fife, just listen to me,
Sorry.
sir.
Sorry.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kim Cox says ex-boyfriend Todd Fife owes for an unpaid loan and for running up her cable bill with adult movies. Todd says Kim watched the movies too.
Okay. I have 2 checks that she indicates are Todd's checks.
You can see they're
Clearly-
cashed on the back, the same date.
Okay.
He was standing right next to me when those checks were presented.
So he would give you the workman's compensation check.
Correct.
You would put it in your account because they wouldn't cash his check for him?
Correct, because he had no account. I
Okay,
never
you want to
signed-
show me something, sir, from your little envelope?
That's all right. No, she was talking about I had no checks. I didn't know what she was talking about. I have my workman's comp checks. It shows
No,
it.
she was saying... She said you had no checking account so that you couldn't cash your workman's comp checks unless you went to a check cashing service, I assume, where they would charge you a fee.
A fee.
And then you had to pay certain bills out of the joint account that I assume you opened up. That was the purpose of it.
No, the
So
purpose of it was to open up because she wanted to buy a house. She wanted both our names on the account.
Well, didn't work out. Certainly, if you couldn't pay your child support, the amount of $160, you weren't going to buy a house together. Sir, so I am correct that you have absolutely no proof that you gave her this last almost $2,000.
No, I don't. I said I washed it all off, and then she had been calling periodically. I told her, you know what, I'll probably just take it to
What
court.
was
and
she calling periodically for?
She just calls.
Was she calling periodically and asking you for money?
No.
You mean she hasn't asked you for money?
She hadn't asked me for money, and then when I told her I was thinking about taking her to court, she had sent me a certified letter, which I laughed off.
Certified letter that said what?
That she was taking me to court
For what?
for money that I owed her.
How much? Did it say in the certified
I believe
letter?
it was $2,500.
Did you respond to it?
No. I said I washed everything out. I wanted out of the relationship. I cut my losses. She was being vindictive.
Okay. Ms. Cox, in your complaint, you say that in March of 2001, you bailed him out of jail.
Yes.
Why?
Why did I bail him out of jail or why he was in jail?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, I'm curious. He's supposed to pay you back in February.
Correct.
Doesn't pay you back in February, the
Correct.
$2,500. Then
He
in
called me at
March,
3 in the morning and
what did he say at 3 in the morning?
he said, I'm in jail, you need to go get $300 and come bail me out of jail.
What was he in jail for?
Supposedly, he was in jail for not returning videotapes to a video store, and there was a warrant out for his arrest.
And that was dropped from court.
Okay. But that's what you were arrested for.
Yes, for videotape.
Okay. How much did the bail cost you?
$300.
Did he pay you back?
He did not pay me back. I got my money back directly from the court because he was trying to use the money for his court costs. I talked to the circuit clerk and told him that he owed me this additional money. She's like, honey, I'll write the check direct to you.
So you got it back.
I
so
got
you
my
were whole.
$300.
Okay, fine. You owe $2,500, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500, which is the amount of the original I consider loan, and your counterclaim's dismissed for lack of proof. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's Sue happy.
He owed me the money and he had to pay.
She's very vindictive. She's a bitter woman.
I think he's just a scorned lover.
And now the next case.
All parties on Olinga versus Walters. Step forward, please.
Auto body repairman Harold Olinger is suing his ex-wife, 35-year-old sewer scuba diver Christy Walters, for the return of their son's belongings. Christy is countersuing for half of the boy's medical bills.
Mr. Rolinger, the defendant is your former wife.
Yes,
How long have you been divorced?
12 years.
And you have a child.
Yes,
A boy?
yes.
How old is he?
He's 13 now.
Did he live with you for a period of time?
He lived with me since he was 6 months old until he was about 9. In June of '97, I agreed with Christy to have him live there on a temporary basis, you know, so I could save some money to buy a house. Purchased the home in December of 2000. Travis came back and lived with me.
Okay. And it is your complaint that his mother refuses to return some of his personal property.
Right.
I don't understand the defense to that, which you will explain to me. And she has a countersuit for some medical bills that she wants you to share with her.
Right.
That happened as a result of some football accident back in 2000 when he was living with her.
Right.
All right, very simply, your son is living with you now?
Yes.
Doing okay?
Yes.
Has been living with you for the past year and some months?
Yes.
Okay, does he visit with his mother?
No.
Not at all.
He saw her on Thanksgiving, but that's the only time that they've really had contact in that whole year.
Did he go to visit?
Well, Travis called her, and then I agreed because I want Travis to see her, you know. So he went over there and came back, and everything was fine, you know, with the visit and everything. And these belongings, I've actually waited the whole year, asked her several times.
Okay, but he did see his mother that one time.
Right.
Okay, what is it that you claim that Miss Walters has that belongs to Travis?
She has, of course, I don't have it right here, his skis. There's a trampoline. There's a Nintendo 64 game system with the games. There's an inner tube that for boating, you tow it behind a boat. A knee board, which is also for boating. And that's about it right there.
Okay. Now, Miss Walters, I've read your answer very clearly, and you seem to indicate that you have this property.
Almost all of it.
With the exception of what?
The knee board and the ski biscuit. I sold it during a garage sale.
Why?
For the one fact, I'm disputing that. I haven't been able to talk to my son. He won't return my
Why
calls.
did you sell it during a garage sale?
Because I need the money to help pay for some of the medical bills. Those are the only two items that I had
The
sold.
rest of the things you have.
The Nintendo 64 and...
You have all of those things.
Just the trampoline.
What about his skis?
I never had any skis. He's never brought any skis over.
So what is it that you have?
Just the Nintendo 64 and the trampoline.
How big is this trampoline?
It's a very large, you know, a couple people could bounce on it.
I have a picture of it right here.
I have a picture of it also.
Okay. Had it been in your house and you sent it to her when you went to live with
Yes.
her? How did you get it there?
I took it all apart and put it in the back of a car. It comes in little pieces, you know. And then, you know, let them use it while Travis was there because it was for his use.
Fine.
Yeah.
So why can't he have his things back?
Well, the trampoline is part of my backyard now.
Not anymore.
It's buried in my backyard.
Get it out. Just like it was buried in his backyard.
Also,
he
my
took
other
it apart.
kids use it. It's been a part of our family for so long. I thought it was frivolous that he had never asked for it one time.
Well, now he wants it back. Travis wants it back. It's his trampoline.
Okay, you can
His
have it.
father said, as long as he's going to be at your house, I'm going to give you the trampoline. Now he went back to live with his father. He wants it back. So you give it to him. And the Nintendo, same thing. You said in your answer, the other kids use it. So it was part of my household. It's not part of your household. It belongs to your son. It's got to go back. It's got to go back, all of it, within 5 days. Have we taken care of that?
Well, the trampoline's been kind of abused. It's all bent. The springs are gone.
Whatever.
It's
It's an old trampoline. If you want it
Yeah.
back,
Yep. Okay.
if you want it back, she's got to send it back to you. If you want to forget about it, forget about it. You want it back?
Yes.
Okay. In whatever condition it comes in.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. I assume that they're not going to do anything purposefully to damage it when they take it apart, but that's, you know, I have no control over that. All right. Now let's get to the cross complaint. I have a few questions. You had a medical bill of how much?
I roughly a little over $1,000.
Okay. And that was shortly before he went back to live with his father?
Yes, correct.
Miss Walters, how much child support do you pay to Mr. Olinger at this time for your
I
son?
believe $270 a month.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you've been paying that for the last year?
Correct.
And when Travis was with his mother, how much child support were you paying to his mother?
I paid her approximately $200 a month.
I disagree with that.
How much did he pay?
He paid whenever it was reasonable for him. It was never on time or an ongoing
So that's
thing.
for the 4 years he lived with you.
Correct.
Now, what about for the first 9 years? How much did you pay child support?
$200 a month.
And was that paid regularly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
So my question to you, Mr. Olinger, is why don't you feel as if you should be responsible for half of his unreimbursed medical bills?
I don't have a problem with that at all, but over the 13 years, the little bit that she's talking about, I have receipts and a check right here just in 1 month at over $180 for his medicine and doctor visits because her insurance doesn't cover. He's ADH. And that's just one incident, you know. Over the 13 years, she wasn't even there for approximately 4 years of his life in the beginning. And I've paid all the expenses for all the clothing, everything.
I'm just talking about the medical bills.
Yeah.
Has he had any unreimbursed medical bills this year while he's been living with you?
Yes.
Can I see them, please?
I have not gotten any statements from my insurance company saying so. Since I'm the one that pays the insurance,
Well,
you would think I would know any of that. But we
Not
don't
necessarily.
communicate with each other, so I wouldn't know any of this.
have you sought reimbursement from her for any unreimbursed medical bills?
I don't want to waste the time or the energy, you know. It's a lot easier just to pay that instead of have to go through the battle all the time.
I think that you're probably right.
Yeah.
Okay. Travis is 13 years old. You don't intend to pursue unreimbursed medical bills for him from his mother?
No.
Perfect. Then you take care of this $500 bill for his football accident and return the Nintendo and the trampoline. The court will draft an order. What else?
Well, the skis she did take, and Travis, you know, would verify that.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Go. Be happy.
Yes.
He's with you. He's happy.
Yes.
I'm disputing that also. Since he has been with Mr. Olinger, he's got nothing but straight F's and D's, and I have report cards that he was an AB student while he was with me.
Well, then I would suggest, Ms. Walters, if you think that he is in some way being neglected as a result of the care his father is giving him, you pursue that matter. If you believe that your son is better off living with you, you pursue that action in the court process. Until it's done, you continue to send your $270 a month child support, which hardly covers half of the child's expenses. Don't expect any reimbursement from him, but if you want to keep the lines of communication open with your son, I suggest that you look hard for the skis, and if you find them, you'll return them along with the Nintendo and the trampoline. Got it? Good. Thank you.
What about the inner tube and the...
Excuse me?
The inner tube and the tramp...
She sold them.
Right, okay.
Why is that excuse? You may step out.
She doesn't ever make an effort to contact Travis or I.
I don't ever talk to him. In the last 10 months, I can't get 2 words on the phone with him without hanging up.
It's just a sad situation.
It's kind of frivolous why he even took me to court in the first place.
Has been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
You're Michael.
Yes.
Michael, the defendant is your father, and according to your complaint, when you were 16 or 17, you had a job.
Yes.
Or 2 jobs.
2, yes.
And you and your dad opened a bank account and deposited your money in the account. The money was all your money. You needed his signature on the account because you were a minor.
Yes.
And then there was some sort of a dispute involving your father and your mother, and they're divorced.
Separated.
And your father withdrew all the money from your account.
All of it but $2.51.
And how much money did you have in the account?
Before he withdrew it, I had $1,527.51.
Why did you withdraw your son's money?
$775 I drew out for room and board when he stayed with me for 2 months.
All right, so let's start with the $775 that you withdrew for room and board.
Yes.
When did he live with you?
From June 20th until August 20th.
And how old was your son in June of 2001?
17.
When did he turn 18?
December 11th.
You can't charge him for room and board. You're his father. You're responsible for him.
Ma'am, He was living with his mother at the time, and he came to, with her agreement, came to live with me so he could work. Before June, I was paying child support. And when he came to live with me, I just figured that I was entitled to the child support back.
You figured wrong. You may be entitled to child support back, but not from him.
When this all started out, I acknowledged to him that I was going to do this, and he had
I don't care what you acknowledge to him. And even if he agreed that he'd pay you room and board, even if he agreed, which he didn't, you can't hold a minor to a contract. I mean, I never heard of something so ridiculous in my life. Your son worked, he put money in the bank, he was saving for, I don't know, college, future, whatever. You decided later to withdraw money because you figured he owed you for room and board. Outrageous! What's next? What's next? $775.
Yes.
Room and board. What else did you take out?
Me and his mother had a dispute on child support that I owed. We went to court about that. And, you know, in order to get a lawyer, I told him I was going to take some money out to pay for the lawyer. That was because of another situation that was going on.
What?
His grades in school, that I was trying to get custody back for him.
Yes.
To make him do better in school.
So?
And I had to get a lawyer in order to do that.
So? You wanted him to pay for the lawyer so that you could get custody of him?
No, I did not want him to pay for the lawyer.
Well, but he did. That's what you just told me. You took money out of his account so that you could pay for a lawyer to get custody of him. Isn't that what you just told me?
Yes, I did.
Well, am I correct? I mean, when you cut through all the baloney, that's what it was.
But I told him I was going to do this in order to file for custody for him.
Well,
and when I told him that, he had no problem with it.
What do you mean he had no problem with it?
He didn't disagree or agree.
Mr. Hubbard, what do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician, ma'am.
Well, let me give you the facts of life, Mr. Hubbard. The facts of life are parents support their children and provide for necessaries for their children until their children reach the age of majority. Then, if they're really lucky, the children will take care of themselves. Only if they're really lucky. Most parents take care of their children even after they've reached their majority. They pay for college, they pay for books, they pay for clothes, they pay for trips, they pay for medical, they pay for dental, they pay for orthodontia, they pay for cars, they pay for gas, they pay for dating. When they're 19 and 20 and 21 and 22, and sometimes even until they're 30. You, on the other hand, want your child to pay for himself, for his room and board, as well as for a lawyer for you. Hello? Michael, your father is misguided. You're entitled to your money back, Michael. Now, I assume at this point you and your father aren't getting along too well.
No.
And I assume that it will take some time for that to work itself out, if it ever does. Maybe he understands that he did the wrong thing. Maybe.
May I say something else, you mean?
Yeah, sure.
I got custody of him on December 14th, 99. His grades were falling bad. When I finally got custody of him, I made him do his homework, and his grades came up. And then his mother 9 months later, filed for custody back of him because I was being too hard on him. I was making him do his homework. I was making him tell me where he was all this time, anytime he was out. Well, that's too hard on him as far as she's concerned. So she got custody back of him, and I have his report cards here showing that when he was with me, he was doing better, and now that he's with her, he's completely failing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Michael Hubbard says his father, Ray Hubbard, stole money from his bank account. Ray says he needed the money.
Your job as a parent is to do what is best for your child, to look into...
That's what I was trying to do. I had his interest in heart all the time.
Fine. Let us say I absolutely agree that you felt as if he needed a stronger hand in order to do his work so that he could do well in school, so that he could move on. You felt as if you had to, as a parent, fight for custody so that he would do better. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement, sir?
No, sir. No, ma'am, that's not what I was doing.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Well, I am, but as far as his mother is concerned, she won't let him grow up.
It doesn't make any difference.
But
Well, you're not listening to me, sir. I said you felt as if you had to do what you did in pursuing custody of him because you felt as if it was in his best interest.
Yes, I still do.
And you still do?
Yes.
Good. He doesn't pay for that. You pay for that. That's a necessary, not for him. That's a legal necessary for you. You as a parent are supposed to do the right thing. You felt in your heart the right thing was that he lived with you. You would be a better parent for him at this stage in his life. Good for you. You pay for it.
I understand that.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,527.51. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
A parent should be more responsible.
If it's in the best interest of the child,
A minor shouldn't have to pay for room and board.
I'm going to keep fighting it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bell versus Clark, step forward, please.
53-year-old William Bell is suing his girlfriend's former friend, 42-year-old secretary Elizabeth Clark, for having him falsely arrested. Elizabeth says William threatened to kill her. She is countersuing for harassment.
Mr. Bell, you are suing the defendant for having you falsely arrested on charges of threatening and harassing her. She is counterclaiming for harassment. Let me understand the relationship. You have a girlfriend or had a girlfriend. The defendant is a friend of your former girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
You were having some difficulty with the girlfriend. You called the defendant to sort of act as an intermediary and to talk to her and see if you could put things back together again. The defendant then called the police and said that you had threatened her. You were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you call her?
February 17th of 2001.
Had you ever called her before?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And tell me about the conversation that you had with her.
I didn't have a conversation with her. I got her voicemail.
Okay.
And I left a message who it was, and I was staying at Baymont Inn Motel. Could you please give me a call?
Why were you staying at a motel?
I had moved out of my girlfriend's house.
So you and your girlfriend had lived together and
Yes,
had
we're
a problem?
together now. Yes,
You are back together
yes,
now?
we've been together, yes.
So you went out and stayed at a motel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you left a voice message, and I assume she called you back.
She called me back, ma'am, approximately 4:30, 5 o'clock that evening.
What was the conversation?
Her first question was, when I answered the phone, is this Bill Bell? And I said, yes. She says, William Bell. And I said, yes, it is. Then she started getting very belligerent.
Don't tell me belligerent. That's a conclusion, Mr. Bell. Okay. Tell me what she said to you.
She was cursing at me for calling
Tell
her.
me what she said. I'm a big girl. I'm over 21. I know that's hard to believe, but I am.
You want...
I want the words she said to you, that you claim she said to you.
She called me I don't want to say it on the mother. A son
Yes.
of that I was going to get her fired from her job for calling her work.
When did you call her work?
I found out later that the number I called, which was her home phone number, is a work number at her home.
Okay, so first she cursed you, you say, because she called her at her work number. And then what did she say to you?
She told me that she was going to get even with me for calling her. And I apologized for calling and leaving a message on her phone.
Well, what message did you leave on her phone?
Just my name and the phone number where I was at.
Okay.
And I told her I was going to hang up. And she says, if you hang up, you're going to pay for it big time. And I went ahead and hung up anyway because I'd already apologized and she was still cursing me.
And when were you arrested, sir?
A while later that they had a warrant out for my arrest. And I talked to the police officer who had called the motel to get a hold of me and left a message.
No, look at me. Stop playing with your papers.
I called the officer back and he told me there was a warrant and I went down. I believe it was in April. I went down and I turned myself in because I
didn't find out about this warrant until April?
No, ma'am.
What happened to the charges?
Well, the charges were dropped the 2nd of October because the defendant never showed up for court.
Okay. And do you have a copy of the complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see that. And, Ms. Clark, I would like to see a copy of the police report that you made at the same time.
Okay. And he called me more than one time.
Wait. I'm going to get to you, I promise you.
Sorry.
When did you advise the police of these phone calls, Ms.
It
Clark?
was Probably the middle of February.
Okay, just one second.
Okay.
So you did not call the police the day that he made the phone calls, the day that you had
Yes,
the
I did.
conversation? Oh,
Yes,
you
I
did?
did.
So
I
you
did.
called the police the same day. All right.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Clark, I would like you to tell me, he left a message on your voicemail to call him. The message that he left on your voicemail was not threatening to you.
No, it's when I talked to him.
So I am correct. It was not threatening to you, and you knew who he was because...
This is the first time I've ever seen this man.
But you knew who he was because of your girlfriend.
Right, right.
That's what, just pay attention.
Okay, sorry.
Now, I want you to tell me your version of the conversation.
Okay, I work 2 jobs. I also work at a golf course.
Is this relevant to my question?
Yes, it is. He went in to my employer, who I have a letter from, was asking for my address and my phone number. Since then, I don't even know this man. He's taken me to court and put...
I want you, Miss Clark, to answer my question.
Okay.
My question is, I want you to tell me what the phone conversation was when you returned his phone call.
He wanted me to get his girlfriend.
Tell me what he said.
He wanted to know if I would call Lou and get them back together, reconcile their differences.
And what did you say to him?
No.
Did you tell him why? Mm-hmm. What did you say? Tell me what you said.
I said, because I think that what you did was wrong, and I think she's better off without you.
And what did he say in response?
And then he's got aggravated.
That's a conclusion.
Okay.
What did he say?
He said, well, that doesn't help me out a bit. And I really don't recall the rest of the conversation. It was a long time ago.
Well, you have to tell me the rest of the conversation. That's the basis of the...
Just more or less said that he wanted me to call Lou, and he said, you're the only one she'll listen to, and you need to get this situation taken care of for me or else.
At that point, did you hang up on him?
I don't recall.
Or did you have any further conversation?
He called so many times on my caller ID, it was...
Okay. Now, did you ever speak to him after that?
No.
You never spoke to him after that?
Nope.
And the conversation that you just relayed to me is, to the best of your recollection, the sum and substance of the conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, Ms. Clark, I'm going to ask you the following questions.
Okay.
It is clear to me that you said, I'm not going to help you. He said, that doesn't help me any. You better help me or else. Those were pretty much his exact words, as you remember?
Yeah.
Then can you tell me why you told the police that he said to you, I will get you, I will kill you, just a second.
I'm sorry.
I will get you, I will kill you, and then I will kill myself.
That is true.
Well, Miss Clark, I asked you 3 times.
I know, I'm sorry.
3 times what he said to you. Now, you got the police's attention, certainly, when you told the police, he said, I'll get you, and then I'll kill myself, and I'll kill Lou, and I'll kill everybody. It seems to me that that would be the first thing that you would say. Not forget it, but that would be the first thing. I will kill you is something that you remember, not I'll get even, or you'll get yours, or I will kill you is something that sticks in your mind. In order to get to the police's attention, they say, well, you know, that's really not a threat. You know, you'll get yours is not a threat. I'll kill you is a threat that the police pay attention to.
I will get you.
I will get you is one thing. But I seriously doubt, based upon our testimony today, that he said to you, I will get you, which you didn't tell me. I will kill you. I will kill Lou. And then I will kill myself. Kill. That you remember. And that the police might respond to, but not, you'll get yours. Okay, now let's go back a second. You started to tell me that he's taken you to court 3 times.
Yes, yes.
Now I want you to tell me about the 3 occasions when he's taken you to court.
Okay, he has put 2 restraining orders against me. The first time that I went to court is when I pressed the charges against him. He didn't show up, so
when
that's
was
3
the first
times.
time that he pressed charges against you?
April.
April.
Mm-hmm. And then after he hadn't shown up twice for court, it was dismissed with prejudice on August 16th.
So in April, he filed a charge against you for something. For what, Mr. Bell? For what?
After this deal
After
in
the
February,
warrant.
I had all the telephone calls we were getting and hang-ups. We were getting calls 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Did you know where they were coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know where they were coming from?
Caller ID showed York Equipment.
Boy, you know, you think this caller ID was a wonderful invention, and it turns out it's used for all kinds of different things. All right, so he filed 2 restraining orders against you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know something? It sounds like a little bit of an abusive process, but Ms. Clark, based upon what you did in having him arrested, I think that he was exercising probably restraint. I don't believe that there was any basis for you to have him arrested. I don't believe that he threatened to kill you. I believe that you got the police's attention. That's what I believe. Based on your testimony today, he never threatened to kill you. Never. All right. Miss Clark's statement to the police was designed to get their attention.
Because it was said.
No, it was not said, Miss Clark, because on 3 separate occasions, giving you every opportunity today to recount what he said to you, the most important thing would be to any normal person was he threatened to kill me by saying, I will kill you. I will kill Lou. Then I'll kill myself. Time and time again, all you said was, the last time around, you'll get yours, or I'll get you, or something like that. You left out, I'll get you.
That's after 10 or 11 calls, though, Your Honor.
Just a second. You never spoke to him again, madam. You spoke to him once, and then you said you did not take the other calls because you saw his caller ID.
He left messages.
He left messages. Let me hear them.
I don't have them.
Well, it also seems to me, Miss Clark, that if someone threatened you with bodily harm to an extent that you called the police, and then if you were listening to messages, you would retain them, bring the tape.
I don't have
so
the
that
tape.
there would be no, you would get a tape so the police could listen to them and then pursue this matter, because then you're dealing with a real nut. He's suing you for $5,000, which he is absolutely entitled to, and I am granting his judgment for $5,000 against you, and I'm dismissing your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues.
I'm really glad it's over with.
I'm glad it's all over, and he'll leave me alone now.
If you got a problem, take it to court.
I want to be done with him. I don't even know him.